to episode 2 of the Silent Battles Club podcast. I'm Callum, your host, and today I'm going to give you a trigger warning before we start. So today's episode is suicide ideation or ideation, and yeah, if you're not safe and it doesn't feel safe to listen to this right now, please feel free to skip it and come back to it another time, or completely skip it altogether, or if you feel up to it, listen to it. It might help. It's just me explaining my my experiences with it and how it's affected me in my life. So hopefully this can give someone who is suffering from it a voice, as I know it's not easy to speak about these things, and in fact it's almost impossible to speak about this because you don't want people to feel like you're one, attention seeking, two, being dramatic, and you don't want to feel like a burden to anybody. So I understand how it can be difficult to speak about these things. So my thought process was to be the outlet for you, and hopefully you can relate to it, and hopefully it might help. It might not, but I'm just trying my best to help. So suicide ideation or suicide ideation, something that affects millions of people around the world, and it's probably the scariest point I've ever been in my life. I remember thinking, I just want this dark cloud, this pain that I'm feeling, to just go. I didn't want to feel it anymore. I couldn't really feel anything at this point in time, but I didn't want to feel what I was feeling. I wanted to feel safe in my own brain, in my own mind. I wanted to feel happy. I wanted to feel relief of this pain. I didn't want to feel so numb and low all the time. And I still have them feelings sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't say I was suicidal. I never had a plan. I never knew what I wanted to do. It was most of the time just sitting in my room before going to bed, praying, wishing that I didn't wake up. I just didn't want to be here anymore. So yeah, I thought I'd speak about it, and with it being Suicide Prevention Day month, is the perfect time to do it. So yeah, if it's too triggering for you, please do skip. I suppose I'll just again speak about me and how it affected me. I'm really nervous doing this one today, if you couldn't tell, because I'm a bit all over the place, but I think it's something that has to be addressed, and some men have to be open enough to speak about it so other people don't feel like they're going through this thing on their own. And I don't want anybody to feel alone in this, with this sort of thought process. So for me, I didn't speak about it to anybody at all. I sat with it on my own for months and months, and it got to a point where I remember thinking, I cannot do it anymore. I think I was in denial with being depressed, and I just didn't know. I didn't have an outlet for it. And nothing I did was enjoyable anymore. All the things that I thought I enjoyed, I didn't enjoy anymore. And yeah, I'm not ashamed to say I used to go to bed and pray to God that I didn't wake up. I used to be in such a miserable state. I'd drink an obscene amount if I was going out to numb what I was feeling, to pretend I was having a good time, I suppose, and to just feel free of it. But then it always cropped back up even more so when I was drunk, and even more so the next day when I was hungover. So I had to take some time to think about how to get over it and how to move past it. And for me, it was somehow finding that joy back into the things that I used to enjoy. So for me, playing rugby and having that sense of brotherhood and, like, I suppose community was paramount. It was top of the top. Like, without them, I don't think I would have been as safe as I am now. The other one was being open about it and speaking about it to my friends, my friends that I grew up with. I think I was at my limit. I think I was very much, if I don't speak about it now to somebody, something bad's gonna happen, and I didn't want my family or friends to be, I wish you'd just spoken to me, I wish you'd just been open, but it's too late at that point. So I didn't want for that to happen to them. I didn't want them to wish that they could have done more. So, I mean, I was drunk when I was speaking to my friends about it, and there's a lot of tears. There was on my end, and on my friends as well. And yeah, it was sad. It was hard, and it must have been hard for them to hear. But it was also like a relief to have spoken about it. It was nice afterwards to have spoken about it to them, and for them to have listened to me, and for them to have not even have given me some advice or anything, just been there to listen. And it was the most beneficial thing I think I could have done, other than playing rugby and getting some sort of like brotherhood back, like, because I was living miles away from my friends at the time. Still am, but like, yeah, it was a relief. And don't get me wrong, the next day when the smoke's cleared a little bit, that anxiety sort of crept back in. I was like, oh, I shouldn't have said anything, like, now they're going to think that, now they're going to be worrying all the time and everything. But they were absolutely perfect with me. They would check in every now and then, make sure I was doing all right, and that I was okay. I wasn't having these thoughts as regular. And I think sharing the problem that I had with them helped me get better. And it was just, I look back at it now and I look at that time and I don't really remember much, if I'm honest. I remember the big moments where I would think about, like, I just don't want to be here, and I just be like, I just see this cloud over the top of me, like, I just see it, everything's just, I know people say that they're depressed, everything's just grey and dull, and like it's raining and it's just crap. And you look back at them times and you think, wow, like, what the fuck. Yeah, and I think I want to say it's not normal to have them thoughts. And I know people say, some people are like, it's normal to have some things like that. It's not normal to have them thoughts reoccurring all the time, like every night before bed. And you can have a good day and somehow they would still just crop up into your head. And then I think if you speak to, like, your family and your close friends, like, you just don't want to feel like a burden. So then you start to rationalise not telling them, when that's the worst thing you can do. Like, the worst thing you can do is not tell someone that you're feeling this way. And it wasn't even like I said, I didn't have a plan. I just did not want to be around anymore. I just wanted to be free of it, I guess. Like, I just wanted to be free of this fucking dark weight that was always on top of me, like, always. I think I carried it well to a certain extent, but I didn't. It's not something you should be proud of carrying well. I think you should be able to. I think that's something that should really. I think that's something that weighs you down, and you should be able to tell somebody. I don't think being told that, oh, you carried it well. I don't think I wanted to carry it well. I think I wanted someone to sit down and ask me, am I okay? And for me to go, no, no, I'm not. But I couldn't bring myself to do it unless I was drunk. It's the only time that I verbally said it out loud. So that's my story about it. Yeah, I was a bit nervous doing this one. A bit. I didn't want to come across too strong or a bit. Yeah, it's vulnerable, isn't it? So yeah. I think for me, I'll go again just on what I experience. So if anybody else is experiencing it, like physical symptoms, then and you're not sure what it is, maybe you should go speak to somebody and see. So for me, being in crowded areas and being expected to perform, I'd have like a heavy weight on my chest, and I'd feel like the world, as soon as someone would like speak to me in a group full of people, the world would sort of go quiet, and I'd panic a little bit because I was just trying to be like a side character. I didn't really want to be like spoken to, an NPC. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to be spoken to. I was going to these events so nobody would ask me, "Oh, why are you not coming here? Why are you not doing that? Why are you not doing this?" So I'd go and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, yeah," and then after a few drinks, I'd naturally become like the weight would go, and I'd become like over the top, and I'd speak a lot more. I'd be involved in near enough every conversation, and I'd become the main character. And then once I'd worn off again, the next day I'm back to being, I've embarrassed myself here. But at least no one's going to ask me if anything's wrong. At least, do you know what I mean? Like, at least everyone's going to think that I'm okay and nothing's wrong in my brain. And yeah, like the next morning, yeah, I'm fine. Of course I'm fine. Like, so yeah, I mean, I'm rambling still, but I'm trying to be open and honest, and I get quite passionate about it because it's something that I felt, and I can only feel, even when I see things online of men that have died by suicide, I feel like what's the saying? Lump in my throat and my eyes water, because I think, wow, I just wish you'd have spoke to somebody, or someone would give you that bit of help, or you'd search for that help a bit more, and like because for me, I managed to come through it and not act on the thoughts, and I just get so upset and so emotional because I see these other men do it, and I see men commit dying by suicide all the time, and I don't want that to happen anymore. So I thought to myself, I'm gonna start my own thing, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be as honest as I can with people, and hope I can be a voice for them, and that they can listen to me talk about my experiences to the internet, to people that I will never meet and people that I don't know, and feel like, right, if he can do it then maybe I can speak to somebody that I know close by, someone I trust. It should always be someone you trust. And I just want men to feel like they can speak more. I know I'm saying men, women too, but I feel like men have this pressure on them where they feel like they shouldn't speak and that they can't speak about this, and it's the main thing. Depression, anxiety, it's all of it then leads to suicide ideation, and then that's what makes you act on them thoughts. It's a permanent solution for a temporary thought, and it might not seem temporary at the time, But I promise you, like, them thoughts can go away with work and time and effort. Like, them thoughts can go away. So, again, a bit passionate, I'm sorry, but honestly, it is a temporary solution. And as much as it doesn't feel like there's any way out, there's always an exit route. There's always an exit route. So, I think things that helped me, other than speaking to my friends and, you know, being open and honest about it, was I started to make conscious efforts to be active, to recognize what my thoughts were, and to be present rather than just be actively present rather than just being present. So rather than just showing up to these things and going, hi, yeah, oh, I'm glad you can make, do you know what I mean? I'm being active in the sense of I'm making an effort to speak to people first before they speak to me, and asking them how they're doing. And, you know, I was putting on a show, really, like putting on a front a little bit, but it was more so like fake it till you make it for me. It was, and then this could not work. This might not work for everybody else, so just bear that in mind. But for me, faking it till I make it. So I had to fake that I was okay, and fake that I wasn't having these feelings, these thoughts, these dark thoughts, and just try and be someone I wasn't in that moment. And, you know, it worked after it definitely worked after a while. And I also just made, like, I used to go to walk to the beach near enough every day because I was jobless at the time. So I had that free time, and luckily enough I was near a beach, and I'd go and sit there and just do nothing, and just listen to the waves and think about how I can get myself out of this. I tried my best to actively think about how I can get out of this rather than thinking about a way of ending it, because I think that's the main thing, isn't it? Is you want it to end. So I wanted to find a way to get out of it instead of for it to end, like, permanently. Yeah, and it was a tough time. I think anybody who's going through it, I pay my respects to you, because I know how hard it is. It's probably the hardest battle I've ever faced, and yeah, it's the sole reason that I've created this brand, because I want you to feel recognised in your battles. I want you to feel like someone's actually listening to you. Someone's been there and been through it, and will be a voice for you when you don't necessarily have a voice. You don't know how to explain some things. So yeah. So moving on to the next part of this, just some tools that I found that might help, might not, but I found these tools that might help, and I'd be gatekeeping the wrong things if I didn't share that. So there's one called name, delay, and ground. So the name would be, I'm having these dark thoughts right now. Delay, I will not act on these, or I will not do anything for 24 hours. And then ground would be, you'd do box breathing. So that would be like 4 breaths in, or hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, breathe in for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds. You'd splash water on your wrists. Yeah. Again, if you're having these thoughts, the next one is to tell somebody. Tell someone safe, tell someone that you're really close to at that moment. Tell them right then. Just say, listen, I'm safe right now, but I'm having these scary thoughts and I'm feeling really overwhelmed. I don't want it fixing. I don't need you to fix me. I just need you around me or to check in. Recognizing when you're sliding. So, figure out your warning signs. For me, I realised that I was having bad thoughts, and the reason, like, I'd notice it was obviously most time it was at night time, so I've got nothing else to do. But I'd realised after I've come out of that first period that I'd start sliding back into it. I completely stopped listening to music. I did not listen to music anywhere I went. I'd drive with no music on. I'd avoid the shower, which people are like, oh, that's disgusting, but until you've been there, you don't know what that feels like. And I'd skip gym, meals, and social events. So at that point, I was like, okay, I know something bad's happening now. I can recognise that. Come up with self-soothers. So I'd force myself to listen to music, even if I didn't want to. Even if I didn't feel like it, I'd force myself to listen to music. I'd put on a film, a feel-good film. I'd intentionally shower, so I would make myself shower. And I'd go for my walk, that I'd go to the beach, because the beach became my safe place. Like, listening to the waves was really soothing, and it was, it still is my safe place. I love the sea, the beach. Naming reasons to stay. Now, sometimes that can be a bit of a difficult one, because then you feel like you're a burden, but naming reasons to stay, and it doesn't have to be people, it can be future moments that you want to achieve, it can be places you want to go and see. So naming something you want to do, giving yourself a future plan is always good, in the sense of giving yourself something to look forward to. Having 2 people in your phone and a safe space. So having 2 people that you know that would listen to you, and if you haven't got 2, 1 is enough. And then a safe place, which would be, for me, was the beach, but a safe place could be anywhere that you feel safe and you feel at home and you feel that you are happiest, I suppose. And the next one is professional help. If you're having these thoughts, I urge you to speak to somebody. Go and, as difficult as it is, go and speak to somebody professional. Ring the crisis line if you need to. Don't be ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed of in this moment. Absolutely nothing at all. What you're going through is scary enough, so don't add shame to that. Like, be your own best friend, even when you feel like your body's fighting against you and your brain's turning against you. Be your own best friend and give yourself an exit route. So, I think I'm gonna try and wrap it up, because I don't want to go on for too long, and I know it's been quite a heavy, emotional episode already. So, I know how scary it is inside your brain. I know how scary, because I know how scary it's been inside of my brain. And I know that when you speak out loud what the feelings the thoughts that you're feeling, it makes them real. Whereas if they stay in your brain, it doesn't necessarily feel real. And that was my thought process. I remember thinking, it's okay, these aren't real, these are just fucking horrible thoughts inside of my brain. But making them real can be the best thing you can do. And when I say making them real, is by saying them out loud to somebody you trust and somebody you love. Saying it just makes it so much better, because then it is real, and you don't have to sit with it on your own completely. And that was, like I said, it was the best decision I ever did. I think it's probably actually the reason that I'm still here, if I'm honest, because I remember sitting there and just wailing and blubbering like a fucking baby, and feeling instantly better afterwards, kind of like a relief, like I said. But yeah, speaking it makes it real, and sometimes that's so scary, but it's the best thing you can do. It is the best thing you can do. Talk to somebody, and if you have nobody to talk to, nobody that you love, nobody that you feel safe around, then go and speak to a professional. Go and speak to somebody that holds no judgment towards you. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. I think, like I said, I'm sorry if it's been a bit triggering for anybody and it's been scary, but I feel like it needed to be said, being Suicide Prevention Month, and yeah, I just wanted to try and help some people if I can. So there'll be some helplines down below in the notes and the comments. And yeah, listen, like I said, speaking about it can be scary, and it's extremely hard, but I promise that if you speak to somebody about it, things get easier. They don't stay forever, and you can definitely get better. As scary as that is, you can definitely get better. So yeah, thank you for listening, and yeah, tune in for the next one, and stay safe out there. Look after yourselves and stay safe.